Bear Down with Brian Jeffries is brought to you this week by Hughes Federal Credit Union.
Hi again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Bear Down with Brian Jeffries. That would be me, and to my left or my right or your left or right, whichever way you're looking at your screen, is Trinity Baptiste. She's a senior forward from Tampa, Florida, new member of the Wildcat women's basketball team. Excited to get things rolling here somewhere down the road. A little bit about Trinity before we talk to her in person. She transferred from Virginia Tech. She was an all-ACC, all-academic team member there, also the ACC Sixth Player of the Year award winner. She recorded 12 double-doubles in 2 seasons at Virginia Tech. Outstanding shooter from both the field and the free throw line, and somebody I know that fans are really going to be excited to watch here in a Wildcat uniform coming up very soon. So Trinity, first of all, welcome, and tell us about your time in Tucson so far.
Hi, thanks for having me, Brian. So far, everything's been great. I've been here since July 1st, and I'm just getting used to the weather. It's been a little bit better now. It's starting to cool down a little bit. Just working within the COVID protocols as far as workouts and team practice and everything. Everything's going well. I feel really good about where we are right now. And if we're able to play in November or December, I think we'll be ready. And I'm just looking forward to growing with the team and winning games. That's my number one priority.
Okay, wait a minute. You mentioned the weather. Now, it may be hot here, but we call it a dry heat. You grew up in Tampa. This has got to be a little bit different for you.
Yes. It's different because it's really humid in Florida. The weather is kind of bipolar. That's what I'll call it.
Okay.
And sometimes it'll start raining early in the morning, and later in the day it'll be sunny. You can go to the beach. Later that night, it probably start raining again. You know, it's very unpredictable. You don't know what you're going to get in Florida, but you're always going to be sweating. That's one thing for sure. And then when I got here, I was outside for about 30 minutes, and I didn't sweat at all. But I felt dehydrated, and I felt like I needed to drink more. So that was an adjustment. I'm overhydrating now.
Okay. Well, keep it up. That's the secret to living in the desert, as you've certainly learned. I mentioned that you were an outstanding player at Virginia Tech. I want to go back even further than that, Trinity. Tell us about that first time you picked up a basketball and said, I love this sport.
Yeah. Well, I was about 7 years old. I was playing for fun, playing at the basketball courts and at rec centers, just playing for fun. And once I got to about 12, 13, I was still just playing on my free time, not taking it serious. And I'll say my 8th grade year, I started playing AU, and I got my first letter from LSU, actually. And that summer, letters start pouring in, and I'm just like, oh, if I take this serious, like, I can probably be good. I was on the wrong track, though. I was just, just going to school, playing basketball when I get free time. But I noticed when I took it serious, I started to get better. I always worked hard. Anytime I played, I gave it all I had, but there had to be a level of maturity to actually practice and work on my game and work on my shot, take care of my body and everything. So I'll say around 9th grade year, that's when I really gave it all I got and took it seriously. So I started playing when I was 7, but going into my freshman year, I got serious about it.
Okay. So you were highly recruited. You went to Virginia Tech for a couple of years. So the obvious question is, why Arizona to close out your career? What drew you to the Wildcat program?
What drew me to Arizona was just that relationship with Coach Adia Barnes. It felt genuine from the beginning. She's very transparent. I saw there was a need for my position, my physicality, my experience. I saw it when I watched film and I studied this Arizona team coming back from last year, what they needed this year. I saw a great fit for me, but what drew me to even consider Arizona was Adia Barnes. She's very transparent, real, and she told me honestly, like, what she wanted from me, what she expects from me, and what she expects from all of her players and her coaches and from the manager down, from the manager all the way up. She expects 100% commitment. She wanted me to come in and be a leader, and I think that's what drew me to Arizona.
We're speaking with Trinity Baptiste. She's a new member of the U of A women's basketball program, a senior forward originally from Tampa, Florida, transferred in from Virginia Tech. If I asked you, Trinity, what's the strength of your game? And I looked at your statistics at Virginia Tech. You were very consistent, an outstanding offensive player. What do you feel you personally bring most to the court?
First off, I would say I bring toughness, physicality. I like getting banged up. I like, doing all the dirty work, rebounding, getting on the floor, getting after it. That's what I bring initially. Being an undersized post player, I'm 6 foot. I go against a girl 6'3" and taller. I'm used to that. But one thing you can't measure in my heart. Like I'm gonna give it all I got. But I can definitely score. I can stretch the floor. I can play inside. My mid-range shot is pretty nice, and defensively, I have to be able to guard defensively. That's what I have to make sure I bring that to the table with this Arizona team, because that she really values defense, so I have to make sure that I'm on point with that. But I bring toughness and just experience and hard work.
I've been told that you love to work out, and that is a very special trait for an athlete, because coaches don't have to push you. But where did that come from? How did you become if I say a workout fanatic, is that okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay.
That came from just spending more times throughout my career rehabbing a little bit. I had to rehab my knees, working on my body. I just developed a love for the weight room, and obviously for conditioning too. I love to run as well. So, and one day when my playing days are over, I would like to become a strength and conditioning coach at a university. So that plays a role in it as well, wanting to be a student as well in the weight room and on the track and on the court, just learning from my strength coach.
When you talk to young girls that want to become basketball, they want to be like you. And when you talk to them about your workout regime, what advice do you like to give them in terms of getting themselves physically ready to be the best that they can be?
It would be a combination of everything matters. I think a lot of players, they want the spotlight, they want the highlight, and they want to just play and show up on game day. But I think all of the real work is done when nobody's watching. So that could be in the off season, working on your weaknesses. In the off season, watching film with your coaches. It's important to know your weaknesses and what you need to work on, and to know what you bring to the table. So everyone wants to score. For example, I was having a conversation with Jason Terry the other day, and we talked about his experience in the NBA and everything. The advice he gave to me is find out what you bring to the table and focus on that and put all your energy into that. So I'll say make sure you're sleeping right. Your nutrition is important, and taking one day at a time and giving everything you have in every workout. So even if it's just yoga for the day, it's a recovery day.
You were just talking about the advice you give young girls as they want to grow up to be like you, and it was great advice to them. What pleases you most when you meet young girls that want to become college basketball players?
What pleases me the most, I would say the girls that are willing to do the extra and who's really passionate about just the grind. So not when it's just game time or when you're making a highlight tape or, when the spotlight is on you. I want to know what you're doing in the dark when no one's watching. How are you in practice when, in the individual workout when your coach isn't there? How are you in the weight room? How are you in yoga, recovery? How are you on your own time on the weekend? Are you really passionate about the game and growing, or do you just want the spotlight. So I think Jason Terry, I was speaking to him the other day, and he gave me some great advice. And I asked him what separates the best players in the NBA. And he told me that what you bring to the table, you have to figure out what you do best, better than anyone, and you have to lock in and keep focus on that and bring that to practice every day, bring that to the game every day. And that's what's going to separate the good players from the great players. Because everyone wants to score.
Right.
Everyone wants to score now. But, it's a team game. You got to put it all together. So, yeah.
Got it. Hey, you mentioned the NBA, the WNBA and the NBA are in playoffs right now. What players do you follow, or do you keep track of anybody in particular?
Yes, the WNBA I've been watching. I like Kennedy Carter. I like her a lot. Courtney Williams. Who would I say? Alyssa Thomas. What's her name? My favorite player growing up was Rebecca Brunson. She was on that Minnesota team with the Maya Moore when they went on that run and won those championships. That's when I really started watching the WNBA. But in the NBA, I really like Kawhi Leonard. I like his game a lot. And then obviously LeBron James is my favorite athlete.
Yeah, no, you're not alone. Yeah. Hey, we know what your career goal is now. So tell us about school early on now here at the U of A and what classes you've enjoyed most.
Right now, my master's program is entrepreneurship. I finished up my summer. I took 3 courses, did really well in those courses. Now I'm taking 4 more, and then I'm going to have 3 more in the spring. And I'll be finished with my master's May 2021. It's really a business major. That's all it is, a business degree. I'm loving it so far, just learning the business side of things. Eventually, I want to own my own gym facility. And so school is really just something I do, it doesn't come hard to me. It comes easy, just put in the time and the work and focus and you'll do great. I don't think you need to be super smart. I just think you need to be dedicated. So.
Well, great dedication. Hey, Trinity, welcome again to the Wildcats. We look forward to seeing you on the court very soon, and have a great season, and look forward to seeing you down the road. It looks like you got a great career ahead of you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Trinity Baptiste, our guest. Bear Down with Brian Jeffries. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you again next time.